I woke up one morning and suddenly, I could hear my love rival's thoughts during PE class. She was sitting on the field, lost in daydreams. The male lead is so gross. It hurts my eyes. Kill him, kill him. What's sick with the male supporting actor, who even likes him? Chop him up. The female lead smells so nice. She's so soft and beautiful. I want to sleep with her. Wait. Is that me? She was thinking about a transfer student who had recently joined our class. Summer. She always wore a white pleated skirt, sitting there dignified and noble, quiet and elegant, like a lotus emerging from water. Pure, untainted. A fragile little white flower. Everyone at our elite school was either rich or powerful. A few belonged to a third category. Academically excellent but from poor families, recruited as special admissions to improve the school's image. There was one special admissions student per 1,000. Summer didn't know she was one. Last year, another such student had transferred in, fiery and full of ambition, but eventually couldn't handle the wealth gap and left voluntarily. I had a feeling Summer would end up the same. She was like those cliché novel characters. Poor but hardworking. Kindness doesn't pay bills, and at our school, wealth and power were the real passports. Until one day, she timidly came to ask me about a math problem. I had just picked up my pen when suddenly, I heard her thoughts. Big sister's fingers are so long. Her technique must be amazing. Something inside me stirred. I quietly put down my pen and nodded at the problem in the book. Come closer. I'll explain while you write. She leaned in, one hand resting beside my arm, the other holding a pen. Suddenly, I was enveloped in her presence, and her thoughts. Big sister smells so good. I want to be her puppy, so I can lick her every day. I flushed red, finished explaining the problems, and fled the classroom in disarray. From that day on, I could always hear Summer's thoughts. The female lead is really beautiful. The male lead is wearing close. The second male lead isn't bad. If he were good-looking, he wouldn't be ugly. After 2 weeks of listening, I realized the truth. Summer seemed bound to a system. This world was a book, and she was the system's creation. My fiancé, Fenton, was the male lead. My childhood friend, Shane, was the second male lead. And she, the vicious female antagonist sent by the system, was supposed to drive the plot. When she appeared, everyone would fall in love with her. She would treat me like poison, abandon me, and after her mission, everyone would regret how they treated me. A story full of physical and emotional torture. But Summer didn't seem to want to follow the system. She was the legendary fair-skinned, beautiful, rich young lady, attending our elite school, pretty, smart, with a childhood friend and a campus heartthrob fiancé. My life should have been smooth sailing, adored by everyone. But now I saw that my childhood friend and fiancé were simultaneously drawn to Summer, and she was the control group against me. If I was the luxurious flower of society, Summer was the pure little white flower. Her eyebrows like kingfisher feathers, skin like white snow, her delicate face untouched by the world. At dinner, I complained about the cafeteria's terrible cooking. Shane said suddenly, you know what? Summer has never even eaten snacks. Yet you're complaining about this food, bro. They were serving sunshine, grapes, stir-fried corn. Who could eat that? Even if I were a pig, I'd still be picky. At the welcome party, I wore a newly bought haute couture dress, eager to show Fenton. How do you like my new dress? Isn't it beautiful? He frowned, as if remembering something. How much did you spend? Don't you know some people wear one piece of clothing for 3 years? How can you be so shallow? I laughed from anger. Then what should I wear if not a formal dress? Fenton, you could wear your school uniform. That's what Summer wears. A school uniform to a party? Am I broke or crazy? Something's very wrong. Has the plot already begun? I wandered through the crowd, searching for Summer, and finally found her in a dark corner. The moment she saw me, she thought cute a lot to herself. I quietly withdrew my hand, ready to wave. Hello? Never mind. I could endure this. During PE class, I sat on the grass catching my breath. Fenton lifted his shirt, revealing 8-pack abs. The girls gasped. He smiled confidently, took off his shirt completely, and threw it at me, loud enough for half the field to hear. Wendy, hold this for me. Shane, not to be outdone, threw his shirt too. Hold this for me. 2 shirtless men on the field at once, it was rare. While everyone stared, I threw the 2 sweat-soaked shirts aside. My hands were dirty. I looked around and saw Summer sitting on the grass, apparently daydreaming, though I knew she was ranting in her head. Is the male lead so greasy because he just came back from an oil field? What? 8-pack abs? It's just skinny. He looks dead. Kill him, kill him. The second male lead? Throwing a shirt. Almost hit Big Sister's face. Take them all out, chop them up. Then her gaze met mine. She stared without blinking. Big Sister is looking at me. My heart raced. My breathing quickened. My ability to purify smog surpassed tropical rainforests. I fell to my knees, wailing, crying until the south to north water transfer project was unnecessary. Big Sister Wendy, little Wendy. So fragrant, so soft, so cute. I want to sleep with her. Stop. Stop thinking about sleeping with her. I shouted. The field went silent. Everyone stared at me. Fenton abandoned the game and ran over, shame following closely. I stood up awkwardly. Nothing. Nothing. Carry on. Rising too fast, I stepped on a small stone and fell, grimacing in pain. Big Sister Wendy. Little Wendy. Voices shouted almost simultaneously. Fenton and Shane helped me up. How are you? Did you sprain your ankle? Let go of me, I gritted out. Stop pulling. My ankle is already injured. Fenton frowned, bent down, and tried to carry me. I'll take you to the infirmary. He lifted me but dropped me, causing secondary pain. Sweat beaded on my forehead as stars danced before my eyes. I told you to eat less. How did you gain weight again? I can't even carry you, he said angrily. I'm not fat. I weigh 90 pounds. He looked at Summer. She's definitely lighter than you. Somehow, Summer had appeared beside us, chiming in sweetly, yes, yes, I only weigh 100 pounds. But in her mind, I heard her thoughts. The next morning, I walked into math class, hoping to avoid any further mental collisions with Summer. Peace and quiet, that's all I wanted. But as soon as I passed her desk, I felt it again, her thoughts, like tiny electric needles pricking at my brain. Big Sister looks so serious today, her hair smells nice. Why does she always look like she's solving the world's problems? I froze, gripping my notebook. Not again. Summer looked up, innocent as a porcelain doll. I wanted to yell, stop thinking about me. But instead, my mouth only managed a strangled cough. Wendy, are you okay? Summer asked, tilting her head, eyes wide. I blinked rapidly, trying to gather my composure. Fine. Totally fine. My voice came out a little high-pitched. Way too high-pitched. Great. Smooth. Her thoughts didn't match her words. Big Sister's looking at me. Maybe she noticed I'm struggling. Should I ask for help? Struggling? Oh no. Did I give her the impression I was helpful? No, I'm not a mentor. I'm not a babysitter. I'm a luxurious campus flower. Before I could plan my escape, Summer leaned over, whispering, could you help me with this problem? I just don't understand the last step. My heart did a weird stutter in my chest. Help her? My mind was screaming. Don't touch her notebook. Don't look at her. Don't breathe near her. Don't breathe at all. I nodded, mouth dry. As sure of course. As I tried to explain, I felt her thoughts slip in again. Big Sister's handwriting is so elegant. I wish I could write like that. I hope she notices me when I try hard. I panicked, grabbing the nearest item to protect myself. Headphones? On. Book? On my head. Chair? Maybe I can hide under it. None of it worked. Her thoughts still drilled through me like a jackhammer. I attempted some advanced techniques. I scribbled nonsense on the edge of my notebook, hoping my chaotic brainwaves would block hers. I tapped my pencil rhythmically, trying to create a mental white noise. I even muttered, go away, go away, go away, loudly enough for the class to turn and stare. Finally, I bolted upright and started pacing in small circles. Okay, calm down, don't think about her, don't think about her. Summer blinked, confusion written all over her face. Wendy, are you feeling all right? I froze mid-spin. Was this concern or suspicion? My internal monologue spiraled. She's judging me. She's judging me for hearing her thoughts. Why can't she just stay quiet? Summer's next thought nearly made me choke. She's cute when she panics. Very cute. How does she stay so beautiful while flailing like that? I nearly threw my pencil across the room. Stop thinking that. It's illegal in several states. By the end of class, I had exhausted every possible mental defense. Headphones, books, running, flailing, muttering to myself, even pretending to faint. None of it worked. Summer's thoughts were there, like an uninvited guest at a five-star hotel. Even worse, her thoughts were oddly comforting. Big sister's really smart. I hope she notices when I get something right. Comforting? I nearly screamed. How is it possible to be panicked, flustered, and oddly touched at the same time? I tried rationalizing. It's temporary. Once she leaves the room, it stops. Maybe it's a one-time thing. Yeah, one-time thing. But when I looked up, Summer was still there, doodling neatly in her notebook, apparently unaware that she'd just infiltrated my brain like a tiny, polite ninja. I knew then, with a sinking feeling, that this wasn't going away. No matter what I did, I couldn't avoid hearing her. Ever. Her presence had planted itself firmly in my mind, and for the first time, I didn't entirely want it gone. Lunch at our elite school was a battlefield disguised as a cafeteria. Today, I sat at my usual VIP table, the one with the polished wood, the perfect view of the garden, and of course, the perfect angle to make everyone aware of my exquisite presence. I adjusted my napkin like a crown and prepared to savor my carefully packed meal: roasted chicken, lightly seasoned greens, and a small slice of cheesecake for dessert. Peace, order, and admiration. That's all I needed. And then I heard it. Big sister looks so serious again. Maybe I should ask if she wants to sit with me? I froze mid-bite. Summer. Her thoughts had slipped into my brain again. And she wanted to sit with me? I blinked and looked around. She was at a nearby table, innocently laughing with a few classmates, the picture of a sweet, naive little flower. I panicked. No. Do not invite yourself into my VIP territory. No. Bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea, I muttered internally. Summer's next thought arrived faster than a speeding bullet. I hope she doesn't think I'm weird. I just want to be friends. That's all. Friends? 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 I sputtered on my roasted chicken. Did she just know? No, don't panic. It's just friendly intentions. Totally harmless. Right? Before I could overthink further, Fenton sauntered over. Oh, perfect. The male lead, human embodiment of ego, dripping confidence like it was perfume. Wendy, he said smoothly, did you know that the proper way to season a chicken is actually with a ratio of 1 teaspoon of herbs per 100 grams of meat? I blinked. Excuse me, is this relevant? Shane, my childhood friend and second male lead, wasn't going to be outdone. He strutted in, juggling a tray like some clumsy circus act. One carton of juice wobbled perilously close to my plate. Behold, Shane announced dramatically, the art of tray balance, perfected over years of cafeteria practice. I sighed, my VIP lunch table now a war zone of facts, flailing juice cartons, and mental chaos. Summer's thoughts were practically tumbling over each other in my mind. He's so dramatic. Is he trying to impress someone? Big sister looks so annoyed. Maybe I should help? I hope she doesn't yell at me. That would be scary. Her innocent musings collided with my own spiraling panic. I almost dropped my fork, flinched when Shane's juice nearly spilled on my napkin, and accidentally knocked Fenton's textbook to the floor. Wendy, Fenton exclaimed, bending down to pick it up. Watch it. My notes are important. Sorry, I mumbled, my face heating up. I knew Summer's thoughts were trying to warn me, but the flood was impossible to manage. Shane, in his usual chaotic charm, tripped over a chair and nearly fell face first into my plate. I'm fine. Totally fine. Nothing to see here. I groaned internally. I am surrounded by chaos, incompetence, and telepathy. This is my life now. Finally, I managed to rise above the noise, or at least sit upright, and take a deep breath. Summer's thoughts were calm now. Big sister is so interesting. Maybe she's not a threat. Maybe she's just beautiful and strong. That's all. I clenched my fork. Was she a threat? Or a naive little flower, blissfully unaware of the social war raging around her? I didn't know yet. But one thing was certain. My VIP lunch table would never be the same. PE class was supposed to be a simple survival test. Run, jump, dodge, repeat. Easy enough for someone like me, or so I thought. Summer, of course, was there too, looking angelic as ever in her crisp uniform skirt. Innocent, serene, completely unaware that her thoughts had been haunting me like a persistent mosquito. I was jogging laps, keeping an eye on Fenton showing off his ridiculous sprinting technique and Shane tripping over air, when suddenly my sneaker caught on a loose stone. Ah! I yelped, flailing dramatically. Before I could hit the ground gracefully, no, That was never going to happen. I collided with someone soft and small. Wendy, Summer gasped, arms flailing. And then we were both tumbling, a clumsy, awkward heap on the grass. My face landed perilously close to hers, our knees tangled, her skirt slightly brushing mine. My heart performed acrobatics of its own. Big sister is so strong and graceful, even when falling. I admire that. Her thoughts hit me like a bucket of cold water. Admiration? For me? I scrambled upright, trying to regain composure, but my face betrayed me with an uncooperative shade of bright red. I'm fine, I muttered, brushing dirt off my uniform as if the grass hadn't betrayed me. Summer, on the other hand, looked more flustered than I had expected. I'm sorry. Did you get hurt? Her hands hovered near mine for a moment too long. My mind screamed, do not make eye contact. Do not breathe. Do not exist in her personal space. She's kind of cute when she's flustered too. I buried my face in my palms.
No.
Stop.
Stop thinking that.
Fenton and Shane, predictably, arrived at the scene at the exact wrong moment. Wendy, are you okay? Fenton demanded, kneeling down, his 8-pack gleaming in the sun, making me simultaneously impressed and annoyed. Shane, on the other hand, tripped over his own feet and landed next to us in another awkward sprawl. Hey, need backup. I groaned. My PE lesson had turned into a battlefield of clumsiness, telepathy, and romantic undertones. Summer's thoughts kept drifting through my brain, soft and honest. She's so composed, even when she falls. I want to learn from her. I blinked. Couldn't I just hit a mental mute button? Couldn't she keep her innocent little admiration to herself? But a small part of me liked it. A very tiny part. Not that I would admit it. Ever. I stood, helped Summer to her feet, and brushed off the remaining dirt. Our fingers brushed for a second longer than necessary. I could feel the warmth of her hand against mine. My cheeks flamed, but I forced a calm smile. Next time, I said, voice steady despite the racing in my chest, try not to fall into me. Summer smiled, pink creeping across her own cheeks. Next time, I'll try. I turned away quickly, pretending to adjust my hair, though my heart was still performing somersaults. A grudging affection was forming somewhere deep in my chest, and I hated that it did. PE class continued, but I couldn't stop sneaking glances at her, nor could I stop hearing her quiet, thoughtful admiration. Somehow, the disaster had left a new connection. A messy, clumsy, awkward connection that I wasn't entirely sure I wanted to escape. After PE class, I tried to convince myself that the disaster on the field had been forgotten. My legs still ached from the fall, but I refused to think about Summer's hands brushing mine, or the way her thoughts still lingered in my head.
Focus.
Focus on something, anything else. And then, of course, she showed up at the library, clutching a stack of textbooks. Wendy, she said softly, eyes wide, can you help me with calculus? I froze, trying to look calm and collected. Calm and collected. Not panicked. Not blushing. Totally normal. Big sister can solve this. I hope she doesn't get annoyed. I blinked. Of course, she hoped I wouldn't get annoyed. What an innocent little flower. I sat down with a dramatic sigh.
Fine.
Let's see what's giving you trouble. As soon as she opened her book, her thoughts started trickling in again. I can't understand the derivatives. Maybe she'll show me how. Oh no, I hope she doesn't think I'm dumb. Her concern for how I perceived her was almost too sweet. Almost. I had to fight the urge to smile. A small smile would be catastrophic. Okay, first, I said, trying to stay authoritative. Remember the chain rule. Her thoughts drifted, unaware of how much I was absorbing. Big sister looks so patient. I wish I could be like her. I froze mid-sentence. Patient?
Me?
The luxurious campus flower with zero tolerance for incompetence? Don't react, act normal, I reminded myself. Sure. I muttered instead, writing out the steps. I tried to hide my trembling hands as I leaned over to point at the problem. Summer's gaze followed mine, and for a terrifying moment, I could feel her thoughts brushing mine. Big sister is amazing. She's so smart and pretty. I nearly dropped my pen.
Stop. Stop thinking that.
Suddenly, she laughed softly. You're so intense when you explain things, she said. Intense? I'm not intense. I'm calm, composed, sophisticated. I'm not intense. I replied, trying to keep my tone casual while my brain shouted otherwise. Her thoughts, though, were merciless. She's flustered. Big sister is flustered. Oh, she's cute like this. I buried my face in my hands. No, this wasn't happening. Not here.
Not now.
The session continued, me explaining derivatives, integrals, and the mysteries of calculus, while also mentally dodging the onslaught of Summer's innocent admiration. Somehow, in between the chaos of my own thoughts and hers, I began to notice small details. The way her eyebrows furrowed when she concentrated, how her lips pursed slightly when she was nervous, the soft cadence of her internal voice. I tried to keep my competitive instincts in check. I wanted to dominate, to shine, to assert superiority. But she made me hesitate. A small part of me didn't want to dominate. I wanted to guide.
Protect.
Somehow, she was making me human. By the time we closed the textbooks, I realized something both terrifying and exhilarating. Summer wasn't just a nuisance, a system-created obstacle, or a cute little flower. She was more. A challenge. A distraction. Maybe even a friend. Her thoughts softened as well. Thank you, big sister. I like studying with you. I blinked. Like studying with me? Not that I cared, not at all. Maybe. And somewhere in the quiet corner of the library, between derivatives and doodled equations, a tiny bond began to form. The weekend was supposed to be my sanctuary. No PE disasters, no telepathic interruptions, no Fenton or Shane showing off like peacocks. Just me, my piano, and the sweet, untroubled sound of solitude. And then Summer appeared. I thought maybe I could practice here too, she said softly, glancing at the grand piano in the corner of the music room. I blinked. Practice? Music? My mind spun. No, she can't play, she's a system character. She's supposed to be innocent, she's not allowed to be talented. Her thoughts slipped in gently. Big sister, I hope I'm not intruding. I love music. I hope she'll like it. Intruding? Never. Absolutely not. I was just cautiously curious. She sat at a smaller keyboard off to the side, her fingers delicate but confident. And then she played. The notes floated through the room, soft and fluid, precise yet emotionally raw. I froze. Big sister is amazing. I wish I could play like that, and she's so focused, so strong, so... Her thoughts trailed off, leaving me dizzy. I realized with a sinking thrill that she was admiring me while I was admiring her. This was dangerous. Very dangerous. Unable to resist, I tried to show off my own skills on the grand piano. I struck a dramatic chord and attempted a flourish I had practiced for years.
Disaster.
My fingers slipped. A cacophony of discordant notes screamed through the room. My hair fell into my eyes as I lunged to correct the mistake and tripped over a small bench. Summer's delicate laugh floated through my mind. Big sister, you're so dramatic. I like it. I flushed. I meant to do that, I muttered, straightening my posture as if anything about my floundering could be interpreted as intentional artistry. Her thoughts betrayed her amusement. She's really strong, even when she falls. I think she's kind of perfect. Perfect. My internal monologue collapsed into chaos.
Stop thinking that.
Do not use the word perfect in my vicinity. I am human. I am dignified. Despite my humiliation, something inside me stirred. Protective. Possessive. Somehow, I wanted to shield this fragile little flower from the world, even though she wasn't so fragile after all. I realized that Summer's talent was more than skill. It was the proof that she was a living, breathing, independent force, not just some system-created obstacle. And the more I saw it, the more I admired her. She glanced at me shyly. You play really well too. I blinked. Of course. It was on purpose. A demonstration of skill. Totally intended. Not chaotic at all. Her thoughts giggled softly, floating through my mind like music notes. Big sister is flustered, cute when flustered. I like seeing this side of her. I groaned inwardly. Why did she have to be so pure, so honest, and so unrelentingly charming? Why did she make me feel like a clumsy, scandalously human mess? By the end of the session, my ego bruised but my heart strangely warmed, I realized that a bond had formed through discordant notes, accidental tumbles, and unspoken admiration. Summer's secret talent had revealed something else too, that beneath my luxurious exterior, I was starting to care. More than I should. And maybe, just maybe, that was okay. By Monday, the campus had officially entered a state of chaos. though only I seemed fully aware of the source. It wasn't the usual cafeteria drama or PE disasters. No, this was more subtle. A war of attention. A battlefield disguised as everyday life. And at the center of it, somehow, was me. Fenton had noticed. Of course he had. He puffed his chest, sharpened his smiles, and launched into his daily performance of perfect knowledge, perfect posture, and perfect abs, the last of which made my patience fray while simultaneously provoking a small, inconvenient blush. "Wendy," he said, leaning down with that infuriatingly suave grin, "I thought you'd enjoy a lecture on Renaissance art. Did you know the golden ratio was used extensively in painting to achieve visual harmony?" I blinked, trying not to sigh. Golden ratio, perfect art, perfect hair, perfect Fenton. Can someone please put a stop to this? Shane, my childhood friend and the eternal wild card, was not about to be outshone. He sidled up with a grin, pretending he hadn't tripped over his own shoelaces twice that morning. "Or," Shane said, lowering his voice conspiratorially, "we could just run through the halls, see who can slide down the stair railing fastest without ending up in the nurse's office." I groaned. The dichotomy of elegance versus chaos could not have been more apparent. And right in the middle, Summer sat at a nearby bench, quietly observing. Her thoughts reached me as she tilted her head. They're funny together. Big sister looks tense. Is that normal? I hope she's okay. Her innocent curiosity made me want to scold her. No, you can't just analyze the love triangle like it's a science experiment. But it was already too late. I could feel my own amusement bubbling despite myself. Shane's ridiculous antics, Fenton's over-the-top displays of perfection. I was oddly entertained. Summer, misreading the tension in my expression, thought we were collaborating. Big sister is coordinating with both of them? Wow, she's really good at handling people. I choked on my water. Coordinating?
Hardly.
I was desperately trying to survive the chaos without permanently embarrassing myself. By lunch's end, my arms were sore from holding back gestures of exasperation, my cheeks were warm from repeated blushes, and my brain felt like it had been through an obstacle course. And yet, I realized something strange. I was enjoying it. The chaos, the absurdity, the mix of exasperation and amusement. I like it. Summer's thoughts confirmed my strange, conflicted feeling. Big sister looks happy. Or maybe amused. I hope she's enjoying this too. I couldn't help it. I smirked, just a little, leaning back in my chair. The chaos wasn't over. It would never be over. And yet, for the first time, I didn't entirely mind. Maybe some battles were worth getting lost in. The library was almost empty, the kind of quiet that made every footstep echo and every page turn feel like a thunderclap. I had stayed late, hoping to catch up on work and maybe to avoid another round of cafeteria chaos. Of course, Summer appeared. Quietly, like a shadow slipping between the stacks, clutching her notebook. "Wendy, are you still here?" she whispered. I froze mid-note, fingers hovering over my pen. Yes, and yes, I'm totally normal and not panicking at all. Her thoughts drifted into my head like a soft breeze. Big sister, why do I feel nervous? I hope I'm not bothering her. I blinked. Nervous? Little flower? Bothering me? Impossible. I'm supposed to be the calm, composed, luxurious campus flower. Not at all, I replied, keeping my voice steady, though my heart insisted otherwise. We sat in silence for a moment, me trying to focus on my notes while she scribbled beside me. Then her thoughts slipped in again, unguarded this time. I'm afraid of failing, of disappointing everyone. I don't want to be like the others who gave up. I hope she doesn't think I'm weak. My breath caught. Weak? Summer? Impossible. But the raw honesty in her mind made me pause. I realized I could actually feel her vulnerability, and for a brief second, I wanted to protect her. Focus. Wendy, I reminded myself. She's just a rival. A system-created obstacle. Do not feel anything. But her thoughts continued, gentle and trembling. I wish someone could understand me even a little. Even just big sister Wendy. I looked at her, and for the first time, I really saw her. Not the system's little white flower, not the academic transfer student, but a person. A living, breathing, complex little human. Summer, I said softly, leaning slightly closer than usual, you're stronger than you think. Her gaze met mine, wide and trusting. Her thoughts whispered. Big sister, you really mean that? Yes, I said, letting the smallest smile escape. I mean it. You don't have to pretend to be perfect. There was a pause. Then she whispered aloud, "Thank you, Wendy." Her words were soft, but in my mind, her thoughts continued to reach me. I want to be better, and I want to learn from her. I shifted in my chair, trying to act casual while my heart did a small, forbidden dance. Is she just a rival? I wondered internally. Or is she someone I might actually like? I shook my head, blinking rapidly. Focus.
Calm. Composed.
She's a system character. Nothing else. Nothing more. And yet, for the first time, I didn't entirely believe it. The library remained quiet, our pens scratching on paper, our breathing synchronized in the dim light. And somewhere in the silent exchange of thoughts and confessions, a bond was forming. Fragile, tentative but real. I didn't know where it would go. I didn't even know if I wanted to know. But I did know one thing. Summer had somehow found a place in my thoughts and in my heart, whether I wanted to admit it or not. The campus was alive with energy. Bright banners fluttered, food stalls sent irresistible scents into the air, and the laughter of students bounced from corner to corner. Even I, Wendy, the luxurious, untouchable campus flower, couldn't help but feel a small flutter of excitement. Summer appeared at the entrance, cheeks flushed, hair catching the sunlight like a halo. She waved at me, and before I could even respond, a festival staff member called our names. Team Challenge participants, please report to the main stage. We were paired together. Oh, let's do our best, Summer said nervously. Her thoughts reached me before her voice could even finish. I hope big sister Wendy won't think I'm clumsy. I don't want to embarrass her. I blinked. Clumsy? No, she wasn't clumsy. She was delicate, precise, and somehow charmingly earnest. The game was ridiculous, a three-legged race with oversized feet, blindfolded obstacle navigation, and a final pie-eating challenge. Naturally, Fenton and Shane were also paired with other participants, both determined to make me notice their performance. Fenton strutted with perfect posture, trying to balance on 2 feet despite the absurdly large shoes we were required to wear. Shane, true to form, tripped immediately, rolling over into a pile of hay and emerging with a sheepish grin. Summer grabbed my arm, her thoughts spilling in again. Hold on, we have to work together. I hope big sister Wendy doesn't get annoyed. Don't worry, I muttered, attempting confidence while trying not to step on her feet or my own. We'll win, probably. We fell into step, a chaotic yet strangely efficient duo. Our oversized shoes kept tangling, sending us wobbling in a zigzag across the field. I glanced at Summer, who was laughing freely, eyes sparkling. My stomach twisted unexpectedly. She's laughing at Shane's antics, not mine. Jealousy, subtle and unwelcome, poked at me. I shoved the thought down immediately. Focus, Wendy. This is a game, not a battlefield of emotions. But the universe had other plans. Fenton and Shane, of course, noticed how Summer's laughter made me stiffen. Both boys tried to outdo each other in increasingly ridiculous ways, Fenton tossing pies with precise aim, Shane tumbling over obstacles in slapstick fashion. Summer clutched my arm again as we navigated the blindfolded course. Her thoughts whispered, "Big sister Wendy, you're amazing at this. I'm so glad we're a team." I felt my chest tighten. Amazing? Team? She was praising me, and my thoughts betrayed me. Do I care too much about her praise? We finished the final leg of the race, both of us covered in pie, dust, and laughter. Somehow we'd won, or at least not lost spectacularly. Summer's laughter rang through my mind, infectious and warm. And though I tried to maintain my usual composure, I realized something strange. I hadn't minded her enjoying Shane's antics. Not completely. Maybe I even liked watching her happy. Fenton groaned, dramatically wiping pie off his perfect uniform. Shane bowed, grinning ridiculously. And I found myself smiling softly, a blush lingering, realizing just how complicated and oddly delightful this chaos had become. Somewhere between three-legged races, flying pies, and accidental tangles, I knew one thing. The campus festival had officially marked a turning point. Summer wasn't just a rival or a system anomaly. She was becoming someone I actually wanted to pay attention to. And that realization was far more entertaining and terrifying than I had expected. The festival wasn't over yet. In fact, the final event, an elaborate scavenger hunt through the campus gardens, was probably the perfect storm for chaos. I was navigating a maze of decorations, carefully avoiding tripping over streamers, when Summer appeared beside me. "Wendy, wait," she called, a little too quickly. She stumbled over a garden gnome, and in an effort to steady her, I reached out. Too late. We both lost balance, colliding into a fountain at the center of the garden. Water splashed over us, soaking our uniforms, hair plastered to our faces. I blinked, sputtering, and then froze. Summer was right in front of me, so close that I could see the flecks of color in her eyes, the way her lashes clung together from the water. "Big sister, she's so graceful, even falling." Her thoughts reached me, soft and hesitant, and for a moment, the world narrowed to this ridiculous, wet, intimate bubble. I'm fine," I said, trying to sound composed, but my voice trembled slightly. My competitive instincts, usually dominant, softened under the pressure of proximity and the subtle warmth radiating from her. "She's captivating. Even angry and soaked." Her eyes met mine, wide, unblinking, curious. Our breaths mingled, warm and slightly ragged from the fall and laughter. She reached out, brushing water from my cheek, and for a heartbeat, I let myself linger in the contact. "Big sister, you're mesmerizing." I cleared my throat, pulling back just slightly, though my chest remained uncomfortably tight. "Next time, maybe don't run toward gnomes," I teased lightly, trying to reclaim composure. Summer smiled, eyes sparkling, dripping water still clinging to her hair. "Noted," she said, though her thoughts betrayed her amusement. "She's teasing me and I like it." We scrambled out of the fountain, slipping and sliding, laughing at our mutual misfortune. And yet, the intimacy of the moment lingered longer than it should have. Two soaked figures standing too close, drenched in water, sharing a ridiculous, electric tension. Why does she make me feel like this? I thought, silently scolding myself. Why is she so captivating, even angry, even soaked, even... Summer's thoughts stopped short, though the meaning was clear. We parted finally, though reluctantly, heading back to the festival crowd. The teasing banter continued, but underneath it, something unspoken hummed between us, an unresolved attraction, a slow heat neither of us could quite define. I shook my head internally. "Focus, Wendy. She's a rival. A challenge. Nothing more." And yet, as I watched her laugh at a passing stall juggler, my heart betrayed me, leaving me questioning just how much control I really had. Some things I realized weren't meant to be controlled, not yet. The festival was over, but the campus still hummed with residual excitement. Streamers drooped from lampposts, leftover confetti clung stubbornly to corners, and the faint scent of caramel and fried dough lingered in the evening air. I had slipped away to the quiet of the library courtyard, hoping to escape the lingering chaos, and maybe to finally dry off after the fountain incident. Of course, Summer appeared again, as if drawn by some magnetic force. "Wendy," she said softly, tilting her head, "do you want to sit for a bit?" Her thoughts reached me almost instantly. I don't want to bother her, but I just like being near her. I blinked. Bother her? She couldn't possibly be bothering me. My heart betrayed me with a small, reluctant thump. "Sure," I replied, motioning to a bench tucked under a softly glowing lamp. We sat side by side, our shoulders almost touching, though I made a valiant effort to pretend I wasn't aware of it. Silence stretched comfortably between us, punctuated only by the distant laughter of late-night students and the occasional rustle of leaves. "Big sister, you're calm tonight, peaceful. I like this side of you." Her thoughts made me stiffen slightly, caught between exasperation and something dangerously close to pleasure. "I never noticed how quiet it is here at night," I murmured, attempting casual conversation while secretly hoping my voice didn't betray my flustered nerves. Summer's lips curved into a small smile. "It's nice. You can think, and not worry about everything else." Her thoughts added softly. "I want to tell her everything, but maybe not yet." I kept my focus on a leaf fluttering to the ground, though my mind was anything but calm. Her presence was distracting in ways I couldn't fully articulate. Why does she make me feel so aware? I thought, internally scolding myself. Suddenly, she shifted slightly, brushing her hand against mine. Neither of us moved it away immediately. It was a subtle, almost accidental contact, but the warmth and closeness made my heart race. "She's so close, and I like it." I glanced at her, catching her looking at me with wide, open eyes. There was no teasing, no mischief, just quiet sincerity. I cleared my throat. "You're surprisingly brave for someone so small." Her thoughts giggled softly, drifting into mine. Big sister, you always notice everything. I like that. We sat there in comfortable silence for several more minutes, exchanging little thoughts and unspoken feelings without ever saying them aloud. It was peaceful, intimate, and somehow exhilarating. As I finally stood to leave, Summer's voice followed me softly. Thanks for today, Wendy. I like being around you. Her thoughts confirmed it, delicate and earnest. I hope she feels the same, even a little. I didn't answer. I simply nodded, letting the moment linger in the quiet air between us. And as I walked back toward the dorms, I realized something both terrifying and thrilling. The bond with Summer was no longer just about rivalry, chaos, or competition. It was slowly, quietly, becoming something far more complicated. And I wasn't entirely sure I wanted it to stop. It was another ordinary morning, well, as ordinary as mornings could be in our elite, chaos-filled campus. I was balancing my coffee, my textbooks, and my ego when Summer appeared, carrying a stack of papers that threatened to topple over at any moment. Wendy, can I talk to you? She asked softly, her voice hesitant but determined. Her thoughts reached me almost immediately. I hope she won't laugh. I hope she won't think I'm weird. I need to tell her something. I blinked, slightly alarmed. Summer didn't often show hesitation or worry. What could possibly be bothering her? Of course, I said, adjusting my coffee cup so I didn't spill it. What's going on? She stepped closer, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear, and then, unexpectedly, blurted out. I really enjoy being around you, Wendy. More than I thought I would. Her thoughts poured in alongside her words. Big sister, please don't think I'm foolish. I like you. I like being near you. I choked on my coffee. Literally. It shot out of my nose in a comical arc, narrowly missing my textbook. Excuse me, I sputtered, flapping my hand uselessly. My competitive instincts screamed to maintain dignity, but my heart, betrayed by her sudden confession, raced uncontrollably. Summer's wide eyes mirrored my panic. Her thoughts were frantic. Did I do something wrong? I just wanted her to know. I hastily dabbed at my coffee, trying to act composed.
Wow.
That's unexpected. My thoughts, of course, betrayed me. Unexpected? That's the understatement of the century. Why does my heart feel like it's doing gymnastics? She tilted her head, concern written all over her delicate features. I didn't mean to startle you. I just wanted to be honest. Her honesty made my chest tighten in a way I wasn't used to. For a long moment, neither of us spoke aloud, our thoughts mingling in silent conversation. She really means it, I realized, a mix of amusement, exasperation, and something dangerously close to admiration fluttering through me. Big sister, are you okay? You're weirdly flustered. Yes, I said finally, forcing a smile. I'm fine.
Just surprised.
That's all. Summer's blush deepened, and she looked away, murmuring, I understand if you don't feel the same. I just wanted you to know. Her thoughts whispered nervously. I don't want to ruin things. I had to tell her. I took a deep breath, letting the ridiculous chaos of the morning settle. For some reason, some completely unexplainable, terrifying reason, I found myself wanting to protect that blush, that sincerity, that earnest little girl who had somehow wormed her way into my thoughts and my heart. Do I like her too? I asked myself internally, trying to suppress the sudden heat rising in my chest. Before I could answer, the bell rang, dragging us both back to reality. The moment passed, but its weight lingered. Summer gave me a small, hopeful smile and slipped away into the hallway, leaving me standing there, soaked in coffee and indecision. And I realized, with both dread and thrill, that the unexpected confession had changed everything. Because now, whether I wanted to admit it or not, I couldn't stop thinking about her. The campus was alive with chaos again, though this time it was personal. Fenton and Shane had clearly decided that subtlety was overrated. Their goal, to capture my attention by any means necessary. Fenton started by dramatically accidentally dropping his books near me, giving me a chance to bend down and help him. Shane, predictably, tried a more absurd approach, dressing up in a ridiculous mascot costume and performing an elaborate dance in the courtyard. Summer appeared at my side, her thoughts drifting in. Big sister, are they always like this? I don't know whether to laugh or be concerned. I gritted my teeth, trying to maintain dignity while simultaneously laughing at the absurdity. Yes, yes, I notice everything. And yes, it's completely insane. The chaos escalated further when both boys tried to outdo each other in a scavenger-style prank war, one involving whipped cream, juggling apples, and a precariously balanced stack of textbooks. I ended up in the middle, dodging splashes of cream, slipping on apples, and trying not to trip over the textbooks while keeping Summer from getting splattered. Her thoughts flickered rapidly through my mind. Big sister is amazing. She's so fast, so clever. I like watching her handle this. My chest tightened unexpectedly. She's watching me like this? I thought, internally flustered.
No.
Do not care. Focus on survival. Despite the chaos, Summer proved her own cleverness. She quickly scooped up an apple and tossed it at Shane, hitting him squarely in the chest, then handed me a textbook so I could topple Fenton's precarious stack. We exchanged a quick glance, both of us stifling laughter. Her thoughts were clear. We make a good team. My thoughts betrayed me. Yes, yes, we do, dangerously so. Fenton, drenched in whipped cream, glared at us, while Shane, still in mascot costume, threw his hands up in mock surrender. Neither boy noticed that the two of us had silently become allies amidst the chaos. And yet, a subtle pang of jealousy hit me when Summer laughed at Shane's antics, her eyes sparkling with amusement. Do I care that she's laughing at him instead of me? The thought made me grimace internally, though I couldn't deny the thrill of the shared camaraderie. Chaos had a strange way of drawing us closer: proximity, laughter, shared secrets, and perhaps something unspoken lingering just below the surface. By the end of the day, the courtyard was a disaster zone. Toppled books, scattered apples, splattered whipped cream, and two thoroughly humiliated boys. Summer and I walked away side by side, covered in bits of cream and debris, laughing quietly at the absurdity. Her thoughts slipped into mine softly. Big sister, you're fun. And strong. And maybe a little scary. I smirked, internally scolding myself for the sudden warmth that her words sparked. Yes, I'm fun, strong, and terrifying, just not for her. Yet the day had proven one thing. Amidst the chaos, we were a team. And for the first time, I didn't mind being distracted by her presence, or by the dangerous thrill of our growing connection. The sun was low, casting golden streaks across the library courtyard. The day's chaos had finally settled, leaving behind only the soft rustle of leaves and the distant chatter of students heading home. I had found Summer sitting on a bench, her notebook balanced carefully on her lap. She looked up as I approached, her expression tentative, almost vulnerable. Hey, I said softly, lowering myself onto the bench beside her. Her thoughts immediately drifted into mine. Big sister, I'm nervous. I hope she doesn't think I'm silly. I just want to tell her everything. I swallowed, trying to act casual while my chest betrayed me with a quickening beat. You look thoughtful, I remarked, attempting a light tone. She hesitated, then shrugged. I guess I'm just thinking about everything that's happened lately. The festival, the chaos you. My breath hitched at the last word.
Me?
She's thinking about me? Her thoughts followed. I can't stop thinking about her. I don't know why, maybe I like being near her too much. I blinked, trying to process both her words and her thoughts. Summer, you don't have to be perfect all the time, I said gently. It's okay to feel confused or nervous or even frustrated. She glanced at me, eyes wide. You mean you noticed that? Her thoughts whispered nervously. She notices everything, and she's not judging me. I didn't think anyone would. I smiled faintly. Of course. Everyone has a messy side. Even me. I hesitated, glancing away before meeting her gaze again. And sometimes, it's easier to share it with someone you trust. Her cheeks flushed slightly, and her thoughts trembled through mine. Trust. I think I trust her. Maybe more than anyone else. The quiet stretched, intimate and warm. I felt the subtle shift in our connection. The way her presence made my chest feel lighter, yet strange and fluttering. I'm glad I can be here with you, she murmured, almost to herself. Her thoughts added. I want to be here with her always. I couldn't help the soft warmth in my chest. Me too, I admitted quietly. Even if the world is chaotic, even if everything's ridiculous, it's nice to have someone by your side. Her lips curved into a small, shy smile, and for a heartbeat, we just sat there, side by side, letting the silence speak for us. No teasing, no chaos, just us. Her thoughts drifted softly. Big sister, I think I like you. maybe more than I should. I felt a sudden heat in my cheeks, though I tried to hide it. Do I feel the same? I asked myself internally. The answer was complicated, thrilling, and terrifying. We stayed like that for a while, watching the sunlight fade, sharing thoughts we couldn't quite say aloud. And though neither of us had confessed everything, the quiet truth was undeniable. Something deeper was beginning, fragile but real, between us. For the first time, I didn't see Summer as a rival or as a system anomaly. I saw her as her. Someone I wanted to understand, to protect, and perhaps to care for in ways I wasn't entirely ready to admit. And she, in turn, saw me. Not the luxurious campus flower, not the untouchable rival, but Wendy. And maybe, just maybe, she liked me too. The campus was unusually quiet that evening, the kind of calm that seemed almost conspiratorial. I had ended up near the rooftop garden, seeking solitude, only to find Summer already there, gazing at the sunset. Her thoughts slipped into mine immediately. Big sister. I hope she's not upset with me. I need to tell her. I hesitated for a moment, my chest tightening. She needs to tell me, or is it the other way around? Before I could overthink, she stepped closer, her fingers brushing mine lightly. That simple contact made my heart stutter. Wendy, she began, voice trembling but determined. I need to be honest. I like you. More than a friend. More than anything I've felt before. Her thoughts mirrored her words, earnest and vulnerable. Please don't be mad. Don't run away. I just had to tell her. I blinked, caught off guard. The chaos of Fenton and Shane, the accidental intimacy, the teasing, the festival, all led to this moment. My usual composure threatened to crumble. I like her too. I admitted silently, my own thoughts echoing. And I've been fighting it for weeks. Summer, I said finally, voice softer than I expected. I like you too. I've been trying not to, but I can't. Not anymore. Her eyes widened, then softened, a shy, incredulous smile forming. Her thoughts rushed into mine in a flurry. She feels the same. She really likes me. Relief, joy, and an unexpected warmth surged through me. I reached for her hand, intertwining our fingers carefully, as if confirming that this was real. Wait, she murmured, laughing lightly through a blush. So, all the chaos, the games, the everything, it wasn't just a rivalry for you? I smirked, feeling the tension finally dissipate.
No.
I was just trying not to notice you. But clearly, that failed spectacularly. She laughed, the sound soft and melodic.
Good.
I was hoping it did. We stood there, watching the sun dip below the horizon, hands still linked. The rivalry, the teasing, the accidental chaos, all of it, had brought us here. Her thoughts lingered in mine, gentle and teasing. Big sister, you're mine now, but I still get to tease you, right? I rolled my eyes, smiling despite the blush creeping at my cheeks. Yes, but you better be careful. I can be terrifying too. And for the first time, I didn't mind. The tension, the rivalry, the chaos, it had led to this quiet, perfect resolution. We had admitted our feelings, cleared the misunderstandings, and yet, the teasing, playful energy between us remained. Because our story wasn't about perfection or control. It was about laughter, chaos, subtle glances, and finally, love. And as we stood together on the rooftop, the city lights twinkling below us, I realized that the best moments, the truly unforgettable ones, were still waiting for both of us to explore together. The next morning, the campus was buzzing, not with chaos this time, but with gossip about the festival and the mess Fenton and Shane had left behind. Somehow, their antics had reached legendary status. Whipped cream streaks in hallways, apples lodged in the library doorway, and a mascot costume still hanging from a tree. I spotted them immediately, both trying to act dignified while muttering excuses that no one believed. Summer appeared beside me, her expression half amused, half exasperated. Big sister, they're ridiculous, her thoughts whispered. I snorted.
Yes.
Ridiculous, but entertaining. And somehow, harmless enough that we survived it. My own thoughts betrayed a small smile, and they finally make a good distraction for subtle bonding. Fenton approached, attempting an overly formal bow, which ended with him tripping on the sidewalk. Shane, of course, followed with a goofy salute, slipping on a stray apple and crashing into a trash can. Summer giggled, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. Her thoughts floated into mine. I like seeing her laugh, even at them. I elbowed her lightly. You should know you're now officially part of the chaos. She laughed softly, shaking her head. I think I'm okay with that, as long as Big Sister Wendy is with me. My chest warmed at the words, and the thought that accompanied them. Always with her. The rest of the morning passed in a surprisingly calm fashion. Classes resumed, students tidied up the messes, and for the first time in weeks, the campus felt normal. Fenton and Shane, though still absurd, had settled into a begrudging truce, their rivalry less chaotic now that they had my full attention. By afternoon, Summer and I found a quiet spot beneath the cherry blossom trees. The petals fluttered around us, soft and serene. We shared a small picnic, leftover festival snacks spread between us. No chaos, no competition, just laughter, shared glances, and a sense of ease I hadn't realized I craved. Her thoughts brushed against mine, gentle and teasing. Big sister, you taste better with chocolate on your lips. I rolled my eyes, but my smile betrayed me. And you're the worst influence, I replied, nudging her playfully. She leaned closer, whispering, and yet, I like it. I felt my heart stutter, warm and steady all at once. I like it too, I admitted softly, fingers brushing hers. For a long while, we simply sat there, side by side, watching petals drift in the breeze. The rivalry, the chaos, the festival, the teasing boys, it all faded into a background of laughter and shared comfort. Because for the first time, everything felt balanced. The world wasn't perfect, but it was ours. Together. And that, I realized, was the happiest ending we could ever hope for, messy, absurd, and full of small, perfect moments. The cherry blossoms had returned the following spring, painting the campus in shades of pink and white. The air was fragrant, carrying the faint scent of laughter and memories. Summer and I walked side by side along the familiar paths, our fingers intertwined almost by instinct. The chaos of the previous year felt like a distant story, yet we both knew it had shaped the bond we now shared. Big sister, this is perfect, her thoughts drifted to mine. I smiled at her, leaning slightly closer. Perfect, maybe, but still ours. As we passed the courtyard, Fenton and Shane were engaged in another ridiculous stunt involving a giant rubber ball and an abandoned trash bin. We exchanged a glance and couldn't help but laugh. Some things, it seemed, never changed. Summer leaned her head against my shoulder. Do you think things will always be like this? She asked softly. I shrugged, brushing a stray petal from her hair. I hope so. Chaos, laughter, little disasters, as long as we're together, I think it'll always be fine. Her thoughts shimmered in my mind. Together, always. We found a quiet bench beneath a blooming cherry tree, settling down with pastries from the campus cafe. No pranks, no competitions, just us. I looked at her, her face framed by the gentle sunlight, and whispered, You know, I still can't believe how this started. She grinned mischievously. With me thinking you were terrifying and you thinking I was a system experiment? I laughed, squeezing her hand.
Exactly.
And somehow, I'm glad it all happened that way. Her thoughts were soft, affectionate, and teasing. Big sister Wendy, I like you more every day. And I realized, as the petals drifted around us, that love didn't have to be perfect, orchestrated, or even sensible. It only needed laughter, trust, and moments like this, small, fleeting, and unforgettable. We stayed there until the sun dipped low, sharing quiet smiles and stolen bites of chocolate, the world around us blooming, chaotic, and utterly ours. And for the first time in a long time, I knew the story wasn't over. It had simply become ours to write, together.